What is up, my friends, and welcome to UFL Week In Review, one of the longest-running UFL podcasts in human history. I'm your host, of course, Mark Perry. On this week's episode, we break down the UFL TV ratings for Week 7 on Fox and ESPN, dive into the playoff picture, analyze the latest power rankings, and discuss the upcoming Friday night UFL games on Fox in 2025. Plus, we get ready for DFS preview, and in our notes section, we'll take you on, tell you about the Stallions-Panthers playoff matchup, how Ben DiNucci could impact the UFL, and have a fun piece about the Showboats merchandise. Stick around. It's going to be a great show.
USFL is in business. The XFL is underway.
There's no doubt spring just got stronger.
All right, we've got our Week 7 TV ratings on Fox and ESPN. We break it all down for you. Mike Mitchell's got the information here per Nielsen Saturday. The 5-11 game, Memphis, Arlington on ESPN, 586,436. St. Louis, Birmingham on Fox, hoping for a big turnout, 758,284. A little disappointing there. Again, games on ESPN always seem to do a lot lower than ABC or Fox. So we were hoping to have a nice, that was a huge game. I think people are just kind of, if it's on, they're watching it, but they're not really connected to any teams per se just yet. That is going to take time. Sunday, Michigan, DC, America's team losing, potentially basically out of the playoffs unless we can beat St. Louis, 665,001. And then San Antonio, Houston, great ending to the game, 572,585. There are your things. The telecast peaked, though, with the St. Louis Birmingham game at 7 to 7:15 p.m. with 1.452 million viewers. Attendance for that game, 14,056. That was Fox saying that up. Now the game averaged 758,000 viewers, up 8% versus last year's equivalent Week 7 USFL coverage of 703,000 viewers for Birmingham and New Orleans on Fox. But again, okay. They say the Saturday match peaked. We'll click on it. Peaked at the 1.452 million mark. So that was kind of towards the end of the game. So still, the television ratings are fine. Everybody's happy with fine. It's the attendance piece that seems to be in question. The Memphis Arlington game, 8,042. Not that great for Arlington, even though they got their first win. Arlington hasn't played well this season, though they did play that game. Devon Smith, huge game, 101 yards, 14 carries, and 2 touchdowns. Memphis is still struggling, attendance-wise and team-wise. Michigan Panthers, DC Defenders, 12,222 in attendance. They're tough with the Saturday early morning. It was Mother's Day. That kind of play a role. The beer snake wasn't full. I was thinking around 10 to 11,000. 12,000 is a good number. I'll take it. And then the San Antonio Houston Roughnecks in Houston, 6,134. Again, Mother's Day thing, maybe. People aren't really connected with the product just yet. All this stuff is going to take time. And it's not like you just need to dump marketing dollars locally to get people into it. That should be part of year 2. They just need to, the fans haven't really connected to the product yet, unless they're in DC, and it's the beer snake is the selling point. And then St. Louis is just the big crowd size. Having a football team in St. Louis is what this draw is there. So the question is, for all these other 6 teams, what's your draw? What makes people want to go to your football game other than just sitting there and watching football? You need that, figure out that value proposition. And then maybe we could see some better numbers for attendance and ratings in year 2. Let me know what you think in the comments. We have our UFL playoff picture after Week 7, coming down to the XFL Conference playoff picture. So the St. Louis Battlehawks with the loss against the Stallions and the Brahmas win with the last second. They are both tied at 5-2. Both teams appear to be strong, positioned to claim the last playoff spot. The DC Defenders are now 3-4 after their loss to the Michigan Panthers, but still alive despite the Arlington Renegades winning the first of the season at 1-6. They are eliminated from playoff contention. Even if Arlington won out, best they could do is 4-6. The worst the Battlehawks and Brahmas could do is be 5. So Defenders take on the Battlehawks this weekend in a game with playoff ramifications on ABC. It is a must-win for DC. A St. Louis win and a Brahmas win will eliminate DC from the playoffs. If they win, they would stay alive for another week. They need a win and a Brahmas loss to the Renegades to really keep pace. So that is the biggest one there. As far as your USFL conference championship, with the conference championship is already set. Birmingham Stallions at Panthers. There's still a shot. The Panthers take on the Showboats at home while the Roughnecks take on the Stallions in Birmingham. A Stallions win will clinch home field advantage for the conference championship game. So there's still things on the line this weekend. Can the Stallions win? We've seen upsets in the XFL and the USFL in the past. Remember, the Pittsburgh Maulers were in the championship game. Is there a possibility of an upset around here somewhere? Maybe the Houston beats the Stallions, and then the Panthers are taking on the Showboats. Could that change some outcomes to make things more interesting as the weeks go by? I hope so, because it's going to be really important, at least for some of these games, that they have some playoff ramifications. But as far as the ratings go, for the most part, people are just watching it because it's football on and sort of getting used to the product. So will be interesting. But there are games on the line. The games matter. All of the games technically matter this weekend. Maybe not so much the week after that, but definitely this weekend, all the games matter in some respect in the UFL. UFL power rankings for week 7. The Stallions are who we thought they were. Jonathan Klink's got the power rankings for you. Of course, number 1, Birmingham Stallions, undefeated, beat St. Louis at home. What else do you need? 7-0. They keep it rolling. Number 2, St. Louis Battlehawks. They lost to Birmingham, 5-2, still one of the top, more exciting teams. They went on a huge win streak. And now let's see if they bounce back. They played DC. They crushed DC on the road. I don't think they'll have a problem at home. They're still ranked at number 2. Looking to try to close out the division, but they can't because San Antonio Brahmas at 5-2 are now ranked 3rd on the list. They defeated Houston at home. So close to losing that one. They are definitely having problems at quarterback. We will see if Hogan is the answer, but neither one of them were that great. So I think there's blood on the water there, and I really think we're going to get St. Louis, barring injury. St. Louis, maybe the Panthers can have an upset. They are, speaking of the Panthers, they're at number 4 at 5-2, locking in that playoff spot. They will be taking on the Birmingham Stallions. Maybe they can knock them out if EJ Perry returns. Is that possible? Then we have number 5, DC Defenders. They were also ranked 5. They lost to Michigan. We needed that one. They're barely still in it. They need to beat St. Louis in St. Louis after getting crushed at home. And we don't know about Jordan Ta'amu at this point, so it's not looking good for America's team. DC Defenders looking on the outs. Number 6, Arlington Renegades. They got their first win. They were number 7 the prior week. Arlington Renegades, a team that probably could be 4-6 right now. I mean, if you look at that, they lost to Birmingham. That was a big one. All right, St. Louis was close, so that's 1 win. DC was close. That's 2 wins. Houston, that was not good. San Antonio was not good. And Michigan. So, you add 3 more wins. They're 4-6. Or they are not 1 win, but 4 wins instead. So that's them at 7. I think they'll be back and in good shape next season. Maybe they'd figure out some things. Houston Roughnecks next. 1-6 at number 7. They were previous 6. They dropped back. Lost to San Antonio, though that was a close game. If the fumble didn't happen, maybe Houston could hold on to it, but they lost and they got knocked out, eliminated from the playoffs. And the bottom of the barrel, the team that I thought was going to be good, Case Cookus, Darius Victor, got good wide receivers, Dawood Davis. Yes, we've got a team. We've got the offense. And no, Memphis, the worst team. Troy Williams is not the answer. Case Cookus has been playing okay, so we'll see. Maybe Memphis can win one out, but there are your power rankings for week 7 in the UFL. Let us know what you think in the comments. Friday night games on Fox in 2025 for the UFL. So in a report by Deadline, Fox is revealing their replacement for Friday Night SmackDown. I've heard this for some time, the talk of Fox being wanting to do Friday night sports and the UFL being part of that package. So the new Friday night slot will be filled with live sports, including UFL games in 2024. They released their fall 2024 schedule that took place a couple of days ago in Fox Manhattan Center as part of their upfronts. Deadline got a preview, and this is what it said, quote, "For the first time in 5 years, there is no WWE SmackDown on Fridays as the network is replacing the departing wrestling franchise with sports coverage of college football and basketball, as well as UFL." So in their write-up, they mentioned a fall lineup change, but technically the UFL is not playing in the fall. What they meant was college football will play in the fall. Then that will transition to college basketball from November to March, and then the United Football League takes over from March to June. Now, our sources have been talking about the Friday night spot for some time. Fox wants to make Friday night viewing of sports like Monday Night Football fans are used to. So Friday night on Fox, you'll get sports. Clearly, it was successful with SmackDown. Can they continue that with non-wrestling stuff? Because wrestling fans are super nerds when it comes to that. We've also heard from sources that the league is playing with the idea of changing the start of the season, potentially moving it up a few weeks into the early March versus the season March 30th start date. The change would depend on how, of course, the next couple weeks TV ratings go, but that's something to keep in mind, that they might move things around. Let us know in the comments if you think, when do you think the season should start? Because clearly now, because of this, that the United Football League they're not going to have games going up against college basketball per se. So I have a feeling maybe they're just, at this point, Fox is calling the shots when it comes to that, because a lot of the games are on Fox, that they're going to stick with that Friday night time slot. Now, the question is, are they going to add teams? Are they not going to add teams to the league to fill that slot? Probably not. Maybe it makes it easier to do scheduling because you got Friday night games. We'll have to see how that all plays out. Hopefully we don't get a schedule super late this time, but there's a lot of change taking place, I'll tell you that, in sports TV world over the next year. I just heard today that Netflix is going to have Christmas Day games from the NFL, so all sorts of things changing. Cable's changing everything. That's a whole other thing going on. So the UFL is in the mix, which is a good thing, and of course they're talking about 2025, so we should celebrate that. Let us know what you think in the comments. All right, my friends, we have DFS picks. There are no gambling. DraftKings, Fox does not have the odds for any of the games this weekend. And I've been checking for a couple of days and nothing. So if something does come out, I'll put out a video. You have to check our YouTube channel or Facebook to check it out. But here is the DFS picks. I have not won anything this year. Maybe I can break the schneid. AJ McCarron at quarterback, 10,500. John Lovett, running back San Antonio, got him at 9,400. Hakeem Butler at 10,700. I think those two guys are a good mix this week. They crushed the DC Defenders. I'm sure they'll do it again. The one thing I'm concerned about is AJ McCarron injury. Maybe they pull him in the second half, so keep an eye on Adrian Martinez. Sal Cannella has been hot all the last couple weeks. Go with him and Luis Perez. Also, I might even start Luis Perez if I'm worried about AJ McCarron as we get closer to game time, because he's just been red hot too. Austin Jr. from Birmingham at 5,000. Chris Rowland from the DC Defenders at 4,400. Why? Kelvin Harmon out for the season. The only good, really, DC Defenders wide receiver started to make a name for himself, and now he's hurt. He's done. And I've got the Arlington Renegades at defense at 3,600. That's why I'm going with Chris Rowland. Maybe he will be the guy for the DC Defenders. We'll have to find out. Jim, our pal Jim, who actually wins a little bit. He's got AJ McCarron. He's got Wes Hills at running back and Hakeem Butler and Sal Cannella, Austin Jr., as do I. He's got Mitchell Jr. at 4,500 for St. Louis, and the Battlehawks defense also at 4,200. So he's kind of got something similar to me. Use ours too. Help yourself out. Get those DFS picks in. And remember, if we get any kind of betting lines and stuff, we'll put those videos out too, because Finn's parlays have been working. A lot of the picks have been working. And I'm not going to do any homer picks anymore. So that will help on my stats. So if we do get something, we will put it out. So make sure you keep on checking UFL News Hub.
Welcome to the heart of the United Football League. Welcome to UFL News Hub phone app. Our phone app is designed for the true UFL enthusiast. UFL News Hub brings the game closer than ever before. With our phone app, Dive into game previews, get expert analysis, and never miss a beat. Download it today on the Google Play Store. Anticipate every play with detailed game previews and analyses. Understand the strategies, the matchups, and the pivotal moments that define every clash. Relive the excitement with in-depth post-game reviews. Break down the key plays, the results, and all that shape the thrill of the game. Go behind the scenes with exclusive interviews and content. Meet the stars, the coaches, and the personalities that make the UFL shine. Stay ahead with comprehensive news coverage. From game schedules to injury reports and league announcements, we've got you covered. Navigate with ease through our intuitive app design. Enjoy regular updates, ensuring you have the latest features and UFL content at your fingertips. UFL News Hub is more than just an app. It's your gateway to the UFL universe. Designed for fans of all levels, from the casual follower to the avid statistician. Join our community. Live and breathe the United Football League with UFL News Hub. Download now on the Google Play Store and stay always in the game. Version coming soon for the iPhone.
All right, we are back, my friends. We've got the UFL playoff game. It was announced. Stallions versus Panthers is set for June 8th on ABC. I was wrong. I thought that the playoff games were, that they were going to do like the Battlehawks rule, but apparently they didn't do that. I was like all confused. But anyway, Stallions, so it'll be Saturday, June 8th at 3 p.m. on ABC. So as it stands right now, I mean, if Birmingham win today, or this weekend, then they clinch home field advantage because they're 7-0 right now. They would be 8-0. And Detroit is, I have it in here somewhere. Detroit, I believe, had lost 2 games. So then it would be a tie at worst. And then Birmingham already beat the Panthers. So they have a lock. So a win this game, then they've got the advantage and they will secure home field advantage. That's what I've been telling you. The games do matter. All the games matter this weekend. But the championship game will be Saturday, June 8th at 3 p.m. on ABC, most likely in Birmingham, Alabama. So get your tickets. Hopefully we get a good turnout there in Birmingham for the championship game. Also, Ben DiNucci, well, we know that he got cut from the Broncos. Then he also said, as much fun it would be, I'm not interested in playing the UFL this season. Appreciate everyone who has reached out over the last few days. And then that was it. So he's not coming back this year. But he said, asking for a friend, what would it cost to buy the Seattle Sea Dragons and bring them back next year? And I'm trying to be owner, president, coach, and QB, which would be cool. I'm not sure how much money you've made there, but I have heard that the valuations, even for the smaller franchises, are in that 30 to 50 million is a number that I've been heard. And the Battlehawks are in that 100 million range. I've also heard this week that it's looking like the Seattle Sea Dragons are not coming back. It's something that I have heard through the grapevine this past week. There was a lot of meetings going on over the last couple of days and heard a lot of different things from different people, but now I'm hearing that Seattle Sea Dragons aren't coming back. Also, potentially the sticking with 8 teams and Memphis. We'll get into them in a second, returning next season. That's also been kind of thing. This stuff is fluid. We don't know what's going to happen, but that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting as of late. And you can I will not use the word crucify, but you can get mad at me. But I'm just telling you what I've been hearing. I find it interesting. I'm also smart enough to realize that, this isn't the final answer, that when things are in discussions, they go back and forth. It could be something, it couldn't be something, but this is kind of where things have kind of are at right this second. So Ben DiNucci, unless you're going to have some investor group that's willing to maybe fork up 30 million for the Seattle Sea Dragons, then maybe you can have a chance at bringing them back. That would be very cool. I'm all for it. UFL taps USC Sports to revolutionize league's video content via AI. Ooh, the big scary AI. So partnership confirms UFL's commitment to innovation as UFC's sports AI technology. Okay, let's see what this is all about. Global leader in AI-powered sports video content has partnered with the United Football League to expand the league's digital capabilities and reach. Okay. They'll use their cloud-based AI-powered solution, analyzes every game live and instantly creates an array of videos to be published across all UFL digital platforms, including the UFL.com and UFL app. So that's interesting. So the AI basically is watching the game. I'm telling you, the stuff that's coming, bros. So that's what it will do. So that's kind of cool. And it makes it easier and gets those things out quicker and replaces humans. The partnership between is a step forward in our commitment, says Nancy McDonald, Senior Vice President of Marketing Communications. By integrating WSC Sports AI technology, we're revolutionizing how we deliver content across properties, et cetera, et cetera. And then this is from, I guess, Nancy McDonald, Senior Vice President of Marketing Communications. And then another quote from Aviv, a Chief Business Development, showcasing UFL is showcasing tomorrow's football stars, not really, by integrating the technology, blah, 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 blah. And then it talks about the UFL season, YouTube channel. In the first 5 weeks, the league's YouTube channel has tallied 7.8 million views and gained over 37,000 subscribers, outperforming the USFL's 80,000 views and 4,000 subscribers, and the XFL's 300,000 views and 4,000 subscribers in the first 5 weeks of their 2023 season. That's an interesting number. I need to highlight that. With the UFLs, you will continue to promote and expand the league, blah, blah, blah. So that's what they do. I think that's kind of a cool thing, and that's a cool use of AI right there. Also, speaking about the Memphis Showboats, they are Sunday. They're giving away, I would assume this is probably from this year. The Memphis Showboats are giving away, we're giving out post game on. Oh, that's interesting. Two home games. This is Steve Macy. He does he's part of the events person at the Memphis Showboats. By popular demand, grilled spatula with the Showboats logo etched out. We will be giving these out post game on Sunday, May 26th. So that's 10 days from now. So in another week. Kickoff is 1:30 p.m. Tickets start at $10. So they are giving that away. And like I said, I thought that the Showboats were done. Apparently, Fox and FedEx are buddies, and that's why the Showboats aren't going in. FedEx advertiser, Fred Smith, they're buddies, and that's what it sounded like. They're not going anywhere. Again, like I tell you, this is the stuff that I'm hearing. Things can change. Deal with it if I'm wrong. Been pretty good so far. But that's kind of cool. I really want the Showboats to be a great franchise. It's just not working. Maybe they get a big-time coach. Maybe they spend a little money, get a bigger name coach that gets people excited in the area. I don't know if that will. A player or two that might get people excited. We'll just have to find out. On to the email portion of the show. Frank says, as a Battlehawks fan, there's a lot to like about the game, talking about the Stallions beating the Battlehawks. There was a lot not to like about this game. Starting the first time St. Louis had the ball on 3rd and short, I really questioned A.J. McCarron throwing a deep sideline pass in the direction of Butler when 3 yards were needed to keep the drive alive. All in all, I did not think A.J. played a great game mentally, perhaps because he was playing in front of the hometown teams and was pressing. And after his ankle was rolled upon, things got worse. After linebacker Chris Garrett made a terrific play blocking a punt, giving the Battlehawk a last chance, A.J. did several things which I'm sure left most fans shaking their heads, trying to run on 2nd down and the clock running instead of throwing the ball away, and then needing to spike the ball on 3rd down to stop the clock. Then on 4th down, trying to get the ball to Jacob Pearson, who apparently left his game in Seattle. Yikes. He's gone from looking like the fastest on the field in every game to some small guy who looks no faster than the guys covering him. Ooh, that's not nice, Frank. Jacob hasn't been huge ever since the first game. It's been and you don't know if he's still hobbled. With Don checking in, says, could call my friend. What a weekend for football. Arlington got their first win with a commanding performance over Memphis. Ugh, yeah. I mean, I'm happy for Arlington Renegades, but I feel bad for the Memphis Showboats. San Antonio waited for the last second of the game to take a win from Houston. San Antonio made it exciting by coughing up the ball several times in the first half. DC Defenders, America's team, were right there with Memphis well into the first quarter. Afterwards, it was all Memphis. I think he's talking about Michigan. Yes, they were there right there in the first quarter, and then afterwards it was all Michigan. But the game of the week definitely lived up to the hype. There were 7-point lead changes in the game, and the Battlehawks had the ball in their hands at the end of the game. Though the final score is not what I wished for, I'd rather lose this game there than the championship game in the Battle Dome. Don checking in. I agree. You want to stay in it. Usually it's like when these teams play them once, it's hard to beat a team a second or third, especially a third time. And we learned that from Arlington. I think they beat DC. The DC beat them twice, if I'm not mistaken. And then the third time, Arlington had their number. So this win by Birmingham could help the Battlehawks later. Just something to keep in mind in the future. Shimmy checking in says, talking about that Friday night UFL games, he said, would like to see a Sunday and Monday night games, move the season up beginning of March. I think if you like football, you're going to watch football. If you're not watching basketball or golf or any other sport, if football is on, keep 10 or 8 game possible 1 bye week max season. I would increase the playoffs to 6 teams. If it is 8 or 10 next year, keep fan base as well as all the teams focused on making the playoffs throughout the season. Definitely would not add more teams in the playoffs because they're trying to wrap things up in 12 weeks. Though I have heard if they do add another team that there could be a bye week in that. If they add to 10 teams, there could be a bye week. But yeah, I think it's pretty exciting about having the Friday night slot for UFL games. We'll see. They can't even get their schedule out like 2 weeks before the season. How are they going to on the Friday? But I think that might help DC. Maybe that opens things up for them also. I'm hopeful because DC is all the DC Defenders games are on Sunday because the soccer games are on Saturday. And I wonder if having a Friday night game will be fine with DC. It'll be really interesting to see. And possibly how does this potentially impact other venues that maybe things were kind of closed off, but that they could use some Fridays to get some wiggle room. Who knows? All right, my friends, that's it for this week's program. Enjoy the games. Week 8. Remember, all of the games actually kind of matter, whether it's playoff position or staying in the playoffs or keeping in the hunt. DC Defenders win, America's team, somehow a shocking win over the Battlehawks would really kind of throw everything for a loop. And I mean, this is the thing. We saw this with the Arlington Renegades. If your team gets hot, things can change. All right, my friends, that's it for me. Make sure you like and subscribe. As always, enjoy the games. God bless, and I will see you all later.